Around. Every now and then I get a little closer. Nope.
Oh, it's a different ending.
Actually, can I just... Questions and shit.
What the fuck? Some Russian guy just typed in some random shit.
What?
Look, some
See?
Russian guy. Look.
Well, there you go.
More red.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. Is it an edit?
That could be VC.
Maybe. I don't know.
There we go. I'm gonna sing actually a song. There you go. Look, that's much
Live
better.
chat. Look.
Yes, live chat.
Yeah, that's on.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Perfect.
That's fine.
So just if anyone has a question, like, so this audio we're using is Rode, but we actually have these bought these things that are cool for like doing documentaries and things. So the idea is to do, like, the idea of this channel would be, let's say, not only to have a channel, but it is to do kind of live interviews with anybody and anything. Could be squirrel or something. Squirrels are pretty cool. I can't sidetrack by squirrels. I have not done mushrooms yet.
Not the mushrooms. The squirrels.
No, like it's to kind of.
Oh, you plugged in the wrong one.
I plugged in the wrong one. That's
Yeah.
okay. Don't need to tell me that. It'll make me look stupid.
There's no one watching anyway.
Actually, I have a thing with like this having to be aligned. I'm freaking me out.
Wait, I'll send it to Noah.
Yeah, just to get people in on it.
I'd say a lot of people would just be sleeping on us because it's like a weekday.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why I did it now. No, you'd be surprised. I'll send it to Marco. Marco will be awake. Let's get that removed. Yeah, so...
Oh, it's Tuesday, so Finbar's fucking doing his thing again. What an animal. Nice, can I be guest? Oh look, Pranskus wants to be a guest.
We're doing, you don't have to ask. Do you have to ask?
What?
Do you have to ask to be a guest?
No. Yeah, well, Noah Pranskus asked if he can be a guest on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Formally asked. Say no.
No. Oh,
So-
you'd be awesome.
Oh, a guest of four comes. Does four comes want to be a guest?
Yes.
Yeah, tell him to watch live and we'll see. So yeah, the what is this? People keep fucking. I'm able to describe it sometimes what I'm doing and then I forget. But I'm not really doing anything in particular. Like, kind of. So the name of the show, Flaming Spear, it's like a dive into the unknown, looking at like things being pushed on the edge, never looked at before, forgotten, and forward thinking. the idea is one door will lead to the next. So this door will basically lead to another door. I'm gonna basically do interviews with different people, and then anything that accumulates in those interviews. Stop fiddling around with that. I actually fixed it perfectly.
No, but you have the pop filter like
I know
on the
that
wrong
was-
side. Like that's
no,
what I mean.
that's no, because the pop filters to like muffle out any pop that comes from over here.
From the computer.
The
That's actually
bouncing
kind of
off sound.
smart. Yeah.
You interrupted me. Come on. I have the worst attention span of my own thoughts and thinking. So it was anything to do with things being pushed on the edge and kind of things are forgotten, or things that have to be revisited, and I suppose people who are in anything in any way involved in science or like where the fuck's the camera actually? There's the camera, it doesn't really matter. Who am I talking to? Do you want to sit on the couch or are you happy there? You can turn this
The
way.
couch might actually be better.
Actually, or just turn this way like a doctor, and I can just lie down on the couch.
You want to lie down on the couch? You can if you want.
And these things should be charged, so we don't have to like sometime soon. We'll try those out.
Not fully charged yet, but close yet. Why the fuck is it?
Why don't you just plug that into your laptop? So it's not cross cabling.
No.
Yeah?
Fuck, that's a different thing. Oh, that's the guitar screaming. Wait, give me a sec. Unplug the thing. No, you don't have to unscrew it. It should be unplugged.
You play guitar?
I do play guitar, yeah.
No, you want to play guitar?
Do I want to play guitar?
We could do a sound test on this with the...
Yeah, we could.
It'll actually be interesting later. We're going to try it out. Are you thirsty? Do you want something to drink?
Oh, no, I'm okay. I have water. I'm happy.
Yeah?
If you want something.
I'm gonna get something to drink.
Yeah, sure.
We're actually rolling now, aren't we? Like, there's actually running. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's streaming.
Post up on your thing that the thing going live.
Yeah, sure.
Or even just go live on it saying that you're live.
Wait, I need to look at the chat actually just to see what I want to.
I'd say the audio is actually quite good with just that little microphone itself.
The
Just
audio
have to be
is quite
mindful if you're talking, just to talk into it.
good. The audio is actually quite good.
I'm just gonna pop it like that so you can talk into it as well. Simultaneously. Yeah, I'd say if you sit there, that makes sense.
Kind of works. You know, we should actually both sit there, right? Just next to each other.
No, because then we're facing the camera. That way you can face each other.
Yeah, maybe that'd be better, but then it'd be even more even focus. No, it doesn't matter.
No, it's just quite focused, dude. I can just sit forward.
Okay.
Is it on autofocus? Your camera?
Yeah, it's on live mode.
Yeah, no, the camera itself.
Yeah, it's on autofocus.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I can just. Yeah. So if you roll the chair here.
Does it actually autofocus?
No,
Not that well.
it's just if you roll your chair here, like that. No. Done. Yeah. Does it autofocus?
Nope.
So it's not on autofocus.
It is though, but yeah, look, it's on autofocus.
Yeah, but then no. Say sit where you were. That looked good.
It doesn't. I'll just manually focus it though. Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
Now
That's
I'm in
nice.
focus.
No, that's perfect. Yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
hi, Jurgis. How are you?
Hello.
Mm.
I'm doing pretty well. I'm very tired.
You actually, what time did you get up today?
Oh, what time did I get up today? I went to sleep at like 3 or 4 because Noah was blasting his music downstairs and he's like, "Lad, I'm staying up late."
Here?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He sat there by himself for like an hour drinking Captain Morgan and listening to techno.
This is my brother. He's a bit of a gremlin. He's a techno gremlin.
He was just come sesh with me. I was just like falling asleep. I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to sleep." You know? And he was just blasting music. I was just up here and the walls were like shaking. I was like, "Oh fuck."
That's mad. That's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah.
Do you have any plans this year? Are you going to go anywhere?
I'm going to Portugal.
Yeah, he was
actually.
telling me.
End
You were
of
going to do
January.
ayahuasca in Portugal. Tell me about that. Why are you doing ayahuasca in Portugal?
Well, I wanted to do it for a very long time actually. I wanted to
When
do
are
it
you
2
going?
years ago. End of January.
Oh, if you
Yeah.
want, bring the audio stuff with you.
I was thinking of that actually
Yeah.
in a couple interviews and stuff, but they have like this kind of like no technology strict rule like at the
Yeah,
retreat.
but you can backpack, put it in your bag, and then maybe
yeah.
when you can go take someone for a coffee and just straight after you have the experience to document it.
Yeah, like even with my roommate or something. I mean, I'll talk to them. Just it's kind of for like my work or whatever. I could say.
Yeah.
In my.
It has to be a live stream as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
It's
live
true.
stream it. You can do it, let's say, with your camera and with your laptop and find Wi-Fi.
That's a lot of fucking gear to set up though.
What? Your laptop, camera, and those things. That's it. Done.
Yeah, but like.
Wouldn't you bring your
Yeah,
laptop,
that's
like?
I mean, I have to talk to the people that actually run it, and see
Yeah.
if they're okay with it because they're like, oh, don't bring any like phones or laptops or anything to the retreat.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
maybe you
so,
just
yeah.
say, well, I'm traveling. Can I bring it? And is there a place I can lock it in?
Yeah.
And then let's say if you go out of the retreat once you're finished,
Mhm.
straight away to document it. Then, like go to a cafe where you get Wi-Fi. Set up your laptop, the camera on the table. Talk to yourself or to a friend there. Talk to a plant.
Talk to a plant. Yeah, no, I'll see.
An
I'll
interesting
definitely give it a
interview
shot.
talking to
I mean, after ayahuasca, you'd be kind of in that mind state, wouldn't you? You'd just be like, oh yes, communicate with nature.
Yeah, I was at first I was like crazy interested in ayahuasca. I'm less and less like as probably because I did mushrooms, less interested in doing it. One is kind of like I don't know what other answers I need. Like I don't, like there is no answer, right? Like so it's like I don't need any more information about like how weird and wonderful life is. Like how I don't need another realization on how weird and wonderful life is. And then I suppose it's more like the realization on how it'll go into like maybe things that I need fixing, like I think that's the part that freaks me out a bit. It's like I get it already. I don't know how many ego deaths and how many times I need to face that shit. Eventually, kind of taking a tax on you mentally as well. Like being too hard on yourself. I've noticed that I've actually quit weed recently because of that. It was just making my mind too hard on myself. Sometimes it's just good to just go along with things. And stop over analyzing everything and actually start doing things.
Yeah, for sure.
Progressing
For sure.
forward. I don't know how many introspectives I need to have. Over and over again. It's like I like where am I going? That's just me personally how I'm feeling about it at the moment. Like
Well, everyone's different.
But I can see how I would have needed that realization, but I feel like I have that,
Yeah,
and
well,
I
you're at that
you
stage.
get it from I think you get that a lot from cold water swimming and things like that as well. You don't necessarily need to see psychedelic images and stuff to have those realizations. That you need to just reset sometimes yourself.
No, I feel like that.
There's many
is a
ways
big
of
reset.
resetting your mind, and I found cold water swimming is one of them. Like
Well,
resets
I
your
mean,
mind for sure.
after a strong mushroom trip like a year ago, I used to do cold swimming like almost every day as well.
Yeah.
Like at the Kells River, I used to go in there literally every day for I don't know, I think 3 or 4 months. And I mean, it really did help and it was quite nice. But I feel like a powerful psychedelic trip, especially like accompanied by professionals, because those people are like shamans and stuff, and it's they have a history of dealing with these
What do
substances.
you mean by like professionals though? Like,
Well,
do you
I mean-
think people should be do you think we should have, instead of like some taught guy in psychedelics and has a fetishism for native people?
Yeah.
Like, do you think would it be safer? Would it be safer to have, instead of some Western guy who suddenly has embraced these old tribes and stuff? Would it be not wiser to have like an actual therapist to be there while you're? Would it be a therapist? No.
No, it'd be a psychedelic therapist.
Yeah, would it be better to maybe
yeah,
have someone who is not going around thinking they're some enlightened being or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the people that actually work there, they're not that type of individual. At least like the person who's the shaman, He's actually from Peru, and he's been part of like the whole
Is he a white
Iquitos
dude?
thing. He's not a white dude.
Yeah, they freak me out.
yeah. Those white dudes.
White
are
shamans.
white shaman is just not right.
Beware of the white shaman.
Yeah, no, it's not right. But yeah, no, the guy is like proper, and I've read reviews from the place, and everybody seems to really enjoy it, and they say it was a very good experience for them. So yeah, I'm excited to try it out. And the previous experiences I've had with psychedelics helped me a lot. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to do it like in a more traditional environment, I suppose.
Yeah.
Should be quite interesting.
Yeah, no, I'd like to do it in a jungle where I'm really not safe. My friend did that. He was brave. Like, he was just randomly. They were like, "Yeah, he's coming. The shaman is coming." And they're like, "Where is he coming?" So you have to first go in this boat down this river, and to this basically like, he just went on this hour-long journey through the jungle. Then he got off the boat, and then he was waiting in this village, like completely away from the city. I think it was Iquitos, and he was waiting there, and for a good like hour or so whatever, like, and there was some other people there, and they're kind of getting a bit nervous at that point. It's like, okay, who's this guy who's coming? Like, and he's working out in the fields, and he'll come, basically a farmer. And then he arrived, and he set up his flute. He didn't say anything, and just started playing his flute basically, and told them to drink. And he was like telling the different people based on whatever he felt off them, like the amounts that they should have. Everyone had a little less based on like just how much fear, I suppose, was in their hands. You could tell, like you could probably easily tell, like if there's somebody who's like anxious, looking around, or looking too confident. So my friend probably be too confident. Like, he probably like, you could give him like, you could have told him like, you're gonna drink that whole bucket. He probably like, oh yeah, okay. He's that kind of dude, which is good. It's brave, like, but because it's his first time, it was. So anyway, he did it, and he didn't enough. Like he said, his girlfriend was shitting and puking everywhere and completely sick, and he said like he wished he was able to do a little more. The guy never let him fall into the trip, but just let him into this dark area, and he said there was these faces of these native people just like flashing in front of him, like walking towards him in the dark. And then he felt suddenly that the trip was going to go somewhere, and then as he was feeling like really scared, he heard the music, and the music started like pulling him back to reality. So the guy was actually controlling him, like he noticed him being nervous and then able to control his trip with just the music and the certain notes and stuff. So that kind of, I'd rather that than, because that's cool, like, and he was surrounded basically in the Amazon jungle, like, I think that's kind of cool, then to have that experience with some magical flute player dude. I
mean, they have these songs that are called Icaros, and so they sing them, or they play the flute. I think usually they sing, right? And they said like
they play the flute as well.
They play the flute as well, yeah, just music in general. But I think what I've mostly seen is they sing, and they like influence the trip, and the song itself is supposed to be healing, And actually, like in the past, like most people would not actually take ayahuasca. It would only be the shaman, and then they would sing the songs. And then the songs itself would be healing, So the song has some power, and like the people that actually do take it, and they say that the songs kind of like meld the trip and influence it, and they can pull you out of like strange and kind of dark places, I suppose. So they're an integral part of it. And I think having someone there that you feel safe with is also very important, and that you think is kind of professional. Because if you're just there lying on your bed, taking like 5 grams of mushrooms, like it can go south, or just like at a party, like that's even worse,
You feel like yeah,
exactly. No, it's not ideal, like.
No.
But yeah, I think it'll be a valuable experience. Like I just kind of want to see what it's like as well.
I know there's a lot more people quit weed this year. So many people.
Yeah, a lot of
people. But a lot more people have gotten interested in mushrooms. I wonder if that's in a relationship or a synchronistic. What would you say?
You can't really abuse mushrooms. So
what?
You can't really abuse mushrooms like you can weed, so it's like, that's good.
It is good. You can't abuse mushrooms like you can abuse weed.
Yeah.
Can you not?
No, definitely not. I feel like, well, the first thing is like your tolerance builds up so quickly, so you physically can't. But I think also mentally, like after a couple like trips in a week, you know, you'd be like just so like drained that you'd just be like, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, unless you're like BC, but you know,
Yeah.
that's a 1 in a million. I don't think you'd want to keep doing it, you know.
I wonder what the sound is like actually on this.
You try it.
Is there anyone comment on how the sound is?
I don't know. No, there's not enough people watching live.
Nobody's watching live.
No.
Hello, people. I wonder how many people have watched it live.
I don't think anybody really has.
No, I think some people have.
Maybe.
Let's see. I want to hear what the sound is like on people's.
Let's see what Noah Pranska said. Why can't I watch this horizontal? It should just be like normal.
Yeah, so this is not actually the channel, so don't subscribe to you. No, this is just a live demo test. Just literally just doing a live demo test. We bought some equipment, mainly audio equipment, and it's gonna be this wireless audio equipment, and
You can perfectly watch it horizontal.
instead of having these kind of studio things, we're gonna try doing this with a little microphone there because of because of what?
Because it's easier and it looks cleaner, I think, as well.
It does.
Yeah.
Move this. I like that thing in the background. Actually, make it better. And then I can sit closer to you. Yeah, it's brighter. It's like the weird radiator over there. So the sock on it, throw that sock off. It's very rude.
I think that's like a towel.
Hello, hello. Actually, I don't think that's working. It's
Really?
even plugged in.
It's not plugged in.
Is there not a long cable for it now?
I had an adapter somewhere, I have to look for it.
That's brilliant. I don't think that's working.
Plug in the green one.
That's exciting. So
The
you're
green
going
one, Ben, you're plugging in.
you're going in January.
in January, end of January, yeah.
Whoa.
Quite soon. I mean, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to go because I don't have my passport because I had to change my citizenship. So, yeah, I'll see what happens with that.
Ah, sure. If you can't go, like, you can just, you know, do other things.
just do that instead. No, but it's not the same. You know, it's a different, like, you know, substance as well. So that's something, I suppose. And it's also just going to like a different country. The whole experience is quite exciting. So. Yeah, and I've done, you know, mushrooms in my room before. So it's
He
like
hasn't. That's just a lie. It's just creative expression.
It's
He actually
creative
has not
expression.
done
Well,
mushrooms in his room. And
that's
his
what-
mother might be watching sometime, and I'm not going to edit anything.
She knows.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
I don't know. The FBI might be
The
watching.
FBI might be watching.
What is the policy in talking about what you have done back in the...
Oh, should like watch Rogan's podcast on YouTube. Like,
Yeah, but this is Ireland.
There's no difference really. I don't think. It's YouTube.
Yeah,
You know? They don't care, and like Ireland is very liberal when it comes to drugs, mostly.
well, about talking, but if you... Yeah. I quit weed, by the way, I just want to say that.
I don't smoke weed.
Well,
that
actually,
much.
no.
Oh.
Work.
Yeah.
I have work policy, actually.
Oh, you drug
Yeah,
tests.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just work.
Okay.
Don't... Yeah. No, just because, like, you know, because if that's up on anywhere, and then anything in relation to me being
Okay.
up there, content-wise,
Yeah.
work.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to edit that part. But most of the things going live, the idea of going live, I think the reason why I think that's important is because now everything has become so edited, you know. You yourself has become so edited, and you know, you want to cut the bullshit basically and hear what someone's saying and not feel like they're protected. You know, there's like a rather an unprotected environment in terms of like conversation, because it's yeah, I think you get more information out of someone. You know, you're not trying to, you know, make some sort of perfect sentence happen.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like, I don't know.
It's enough with images. It's enough with images being over edited. Like, you know, conversation being over edited, I don't think is that healthy at all. Like, you know, I think everything is like over edited. And then if I do any interviews, I'm gonna do them live, and then later will be heavily edited because they'll be strung in with other content, so it won't be like just podcasts. This channel is not about actually not this channel. The channel that this will be loaded onto will not be about podcasts. It'll be about anything. It could have follow-ups to the interviews. So let's say if you were a beekeeper and I caught you talking about bees and stuff, like let's say, and you said something that was kind of sounding a bit strange or like controversial, and you know, I'd go fact check that instead of just going up online, maybe talk then to a scientist actually, and then, you know, maybe going exploring out as well, like going to a beehive and then looking at that, and then when I'm uploading then the stuff, you know, after the short amount of interviews I have, maybe like 10 interviews, and I'll then do a kind of documentary with the content of going places and what ties those conversations in together, and they'll be short documentaries, and then hopefully later down in a year or 5 years, I'm not giving myself a time, I'll be then doing like a full feature length documentary, hopefully with some funding, where, you know, pulls together a story. The story will come from something usually, you know, when you start exploring. So you just go out there and explore things and not just sit there and look at Google basically. You know, and there's questions, and they sometimes, you know, demand you to get up and you know, go to places, or, you know, maybe do the interviews at someone's house, that, you know, instead of just in the studio. So hopefully build a studio and then go out and do things. That's what this is, and this is an audio test. And actually, the audio sounds amazing just coming from this.
The audio is really good.
A little bit of money I had, I invested into little basic audio equipment stuff. That the wireless thing was not basic, but this thing is basic enough. But it actually sounds really good.
I mean, it's almost a professional microphone, like for streamers and stuff. Like Rode is a very good company.
Yeah.
So it's not, I suppose, like the most basic, but it's quite good quality equipment, like.
No, it's really good, and you can sing as well. This is like this is not like this is like a typical microphone. No, this will be good. Be good to have.
Yeah, definitely. I think for your studio it would be quite nice to have. For sure.
We nearly look as professional as the guy that you just did tutorial with.
Oh yeah.
How is it? This is live on Twitch as well. I've never used Twitch before. I don't even know what Twitch is like, to be honest with you, and that's brilliant.
It's for gamers.
That's kind of bad. Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's for gamers. Gamers are watching stuff. Yeah, but I don't even game. But the reason why I'm targeting you gamers, is because, you know, life's a bit of a game, and this is a bit of a puzzle. So I'd like you to get like really interactive with this, and push questions, or you know, ask the different questions. See, you know, what you'd like. You know, what stones you'd like to look under, what doors you'd like to be open, like, lack of better metaphors, like where you want to go with this. I'm not too much of a test monkey, but like I don't mind getting my hands dirty. So you know, if it requires me to go out and you know, do shit, like I'm up for that, and I'll hopefully get better equipment to make those things happen. Yeah, what are your plans then for the future? Like,
for the
two
future.
two hobbies you'd like. So you'd like to go and do some ayahuasca, and you were really into. Are you into consciousness or psychology? Like they're two. I think they're two separate things. I would say they're two separate things.
Well, is it like studying what is consciousness, or just like what do you mean, like in terms of consciousness? Because consciousness is a very broad and kind of
no, that's what I'm trying to say.
term,
It's like because I didn't want to link it to your interest in psychology, but doing ayahuasca is basically exploring your consciousness.
Yeah, it is.
And then studying psychology is a bit like understanding just how your brain, mechanisms and how your brain works.
Well, behavior, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, behavior that's linked to biology, it's kind of like, it's a lot of things linked together. If you're studying just how the brain works,
behavioral psychology, it's different.
It's also not just behavioral psychology, but behavioral psychology is actually just it's linking many things. But how the brain works, that's like neurobiology. That would just be like how different like neurotransmitters interact. And these
but how do behaviors work? How something works? Whereas with consciousness, is you can't really explore how consciousness works.
Well, consciousness is
with psychedelics. It's you're just exploring the realm in your mind without how
you're subconscious.
What I'm saying is you're exploring something in your mind, but you're not really going to tell it's how it works. Whereas with psychology, it's a field of study. That's why. So it's like one is finding out how things work, whereas with doing psychedelics and that kind of looking at things without the fact of trying to figure out how they work is
it's not an analytical practice. Definitely, it's more of just like a spiritual practice. I see what you mean. But
you think spiritual? I don't necessarily think it's only spiritual.
Well, psychedelics, I mean, it can be taken from many different angles, I suppose, but it is overall, I think, a spiritual practice in the end, for the most part. Yeah.
Does it... I kind of had a realization with them that how... Because I was wondering, like, how, can you use it to see how your mind works? Because I don't know necessarily if it is separate. It is technically separate, like, at the moment, but, like, a lot of psychologists are interested in it. Like, the main people who are interested in it are psychologists. Out of all the studies in science.
Yeah, psychologists and psychiatrists,
Yeah. Mainly. So, it is, and it's getting, that's getting closer and closer together, that... Like, I had profound realizations on how thoughts work through it. And I kind of, it was something I always had in my back of my mind, but the thought process started moving, and I was able to, have a realization of my thoughts moving a certain way with it. With psychedelics, I was able to have that realization. Like, without it, I kind of had a feeling about how thoughts move in my mind, but basically, that they can get stuck, and the material world and all the ideas that you have in them, they get these thoughts stuck in your mind. Why are thoughts just getting stuck there, and they reappear, and you need this idea of like letting go and clearing your mind. It's easier said than done. And how do you do that? What's actually happening in your mind, not from a science perspective, but just from a thought perspective. Like what's happening in your mind. For me was, that my mind was obsessing about something, and it was pulling then into that thought. You see, when people have these. The word stagnation comes into play. Stagnant forms of being where like say you're in the kitchen and you're kind of like this always freaks me out, that feeling.
I know that feeling. It's getting stuck in a repetitive behaviors, like
in looping exactly. Loops, and you get sick of yourself, and your mind becomes magnified basically. And I was wondering about that kind of thought process of like this really damaging thought process where you're constantly spiraling basically into these thought frames, and there's no real escape out of it. And I had from that experience I had, which was basically watching water flow and letting emotions go, and and actually letting those thoughts run like water is really what gets that unstuck. It's actually not 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 having this idea that the material world is all that there is, and you letting all that you have perceived just flow in your mind to escape from that, and it actually it clears your vision as well. I found, like, you can suddenly see what's in front of you because you're not shrouded by these imaginary ideas of what's in front of you. Like, you're getting into your mind, basically getting stuck in this. And if you look at water as well, water actually is a reflection of any energy. That it's a medium that kind of goes with what energy is around it or what material worlds are around it. And your brain is basically, your thoughts are basically the same way. And it made me kind of wonder, how your stream of thought patterns, that they're not this mechanical thing, that, your brain is basically like this, tube that your thoughts are meant to stream through, that you're not meant to be stuck in one place. It's why it's not very healthy to obsess about things, to fixate on things, or to stare at one thing, to have this one part of your brain just going and that, to get that unstuck is to always visualize this idea that that's not anything, that these thoughts are not really anything, and you need to just let them go, and just like water, and what comes, the next thought that comes, the next epiphany, especially if you are stuck and you don't know where you're going, you're not gonna, by fixating and trying to make that work, it's not going to get better there. Sometimes you need to just go towards the river bend and let's see what's behind that, and that does mean changing your perspective. It means getting up and walking and clearing your mind, and that's why it's so important to do that. And if anyone's ever like struggling in a moment of panic where there's no escape route basically in their mind, and they're just spiraling, and you see that in their eyes, you can see that they have a fear about something, is just get up and move, because you're not in control of the flow of this energy in life. You can schedule certain things, but at the same time you don't really know what's around the river bend, and your brain can't jam its way into forcing those structures to appear. There's like this interaction with the material world of trying to imaginarily like put every piece together in your brain. It just doesn't work like that, like a machine. It actually kind of more flows, and having those lesser positive thoughts is essentially what you need. And that visualization of water is really good, because you see those spirals in water. There's accumulation of the water reacting to some material object that's being lodged in the river, and it's pulling, or the surface, and it's the water pulling down, but that water is going to keep moving. That's what you have to remember.
That's what life is.
Yeah, that stuck thought you're having is just going to keep moving.
It has to push through. That analogy of water
that broke off there.
What happened?
It just died.
It did die. I don't know why it died.
And we've done. I'd say the camera died.
We were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you mentioned about the water is quite interesting.
Not gonna work out with that cable.
No, the cable too annoying.
Yes.
Do you want the headphones?
Okay. Why someone have to have the headphones?
No, it's just nice. I like it.
Someone has. No, they are nice, but the cable is a problem.
Yeah,
I shouldn't
the cable
sit.
annoys you.
I shouldn't sit. No, the cable is itchy.
That doesn't matter.
Silly Billy.
Did
you say that yourself?
I don't really care. Like, it's just cable. I don't know. I have an extension for it though. I can find it for you. And I have a splitter as well, actually, so you can have two headphones at the same time.
I need headphones. I don't know. Do you need headphones? I don't know.
No, it's nicer actually. Do you feel like more plugged in to the conversation, like?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's nice.
Could get like little secret earphones. No.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it
no,
makes you
it's-
feel plugged in, but freaks me out as well. It just makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
It's like you
Easy.
hear yourself. I think you get too focused in on yourself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of like
Calm
it.
down.
But yeah.
Focused in on yourself.
It's meditation, basically.
Yeah, it does actually feel really meditative.
It kind of like puts you in a weird.
But I think
trance.
it'll you lose a bit touch of reality though.
Maybe. Slightly. Oh, I'm so tired. But yeah, though, like that whole thing you mentioned with the water is interesting because in that book I was talking to you about Siddhartha.
Okay.
The guy, basically, like he's raised by monks, and his father wants him to become a monk, but then he goes out like wandering in the wilds, and then he like reaches the city and
Hold
then
on.
Right.
Which book?
Siddhartha by Herbert.
Yeah,
Hesse.
so the book, the book Herbert?
It's
Hermit?
No, it's Siddhartha, the name of the book. The author is Hermann Hesse.
Hermann Hesse. Okay,
Yeah.
Look that guy, look it up. Just look up the book
Oh,
there.
you wanna look up the book?
Yeah.
Sure we can look up the book. I was gonna tell you the story and
You
how
should
it
have a
relates
drink
to
actually.
a drink.
Yeah,
Ow.
you look like you need a drink. No, you can
That's
keep
tough.
that playing. There you go.
We could just have
That's-
a look here. Which one was this one?
Make sure you don't make the mistake. Yeah, you should have YouTube, Google. Just have Google open. Start
Yeah,
Google.
just so I don't have like porn.
Yeah. Well, it might have your details there. See the way at the bottom of the screen it has. Because this is going live. Like this might be
I don't know how to spell it. I'll be
it's
honest.
gonna go live to the universe forever.
Yeah, Siddhartha novel. Yeah.
Because I'm not editing this part out. That's him.
No. This is just the guy Hermann Hesse. Is a different guy.
I was like Hermann Hesse. It's like,
No. I can show you Hermann Hesse if you want.
no, it's the book.
Yeah, this is the book itself, but like I mean,
Oh.
you see the cover of it,
It's a novel
Yeah, it's quite a short book actually. It's
about an
sort-
Indian man.
Yeah, kind of, but yeah, basically like
Okay.
he goes through life and he experiences a lot of different things, and at the end, he tries the monk life. He tries like the hedonistic kind of lifestyle,
Hedonistic.
Yeah, where you just
Oh, yeah.
like live for pleasure,
Oh, yeah.
And he
Have you ever tried
he
that?
becomes very rich. Well, yeah, definitely.
Just pleasure. I feel like it'd be exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, when you're young, I suppose you don't have much responsibilities when you're like.
I know,
15,
but you
you
have
know,
come
you can-
downs, right?
Well, yeah,
that'd be
of course,
exhausting.
Of course. Well, I mean, that's the other side of hedonism, But yeah, essentially, the moral of the story is that, like, at the end, it doesn't work. He met this ferryman, right?
Mm.
That goes across this river, and he was like really fascinated by this ferryman because he was so at peace, And then he started living with this ferryman and working on the ferry. And then at some point the ferryman didn't speak very much, but he was like, "How are you so wise, oh great ferryman?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I just listen to the river, the river speaks to me, and it kind of
That's shit happened to
flows." Yeah, exactly. It flows, and it like life, it just keeps on moving.
It keeps
and
on
it's
moving, yeah.
in a tranquil kind of way,
Yeah. If you get stuck, just
Yeah.
keep moving.
And
even
he-
if it's
yeah.
like, you're freaking out about what movement to make, like just move, like get the fuck out of the door. Yeah.
It's interesting that you made that realization because like it's a very powerful revelation at the end of that book, how he found his inner peace.
Yeah.
Because he tried like almost everything else, that's available in life.
Yeah, it cycles. That's the nice thing about water. It doesn't. It
Yeah.
moves in a way that it actually goes in a cycle. So if you look at water, you think like, oh well, water flows, but actually water it doesn't just flow. It does many other things. It fucking evaporates. It's not only flowing now. It's doing fucking. It's actually cycling. It's actually
Just the water cycle.
going through the same process the whole time.
Mm.
It's just flowing in that current moment. It's flowing, but yeah, it's doing other things as well. Yeah, but we can't be just like water, can we?
Well, no, we're kind of human,
No.
We are 70% water.
Yeah, we've actually. When you said that name, I thought it was a book that I read. If you look up "Sensitive Chaos,"
Okay.
that's what got me. It's basically like, yeah. That just looks at yeah.
Theodore Schwenk.
I'd love to chat to that guy if possible. it's yeah, it's a really cool book. Like it's kind of looks at things and shows them from all kind of angles of how water passes through them and works, and it just wakes your mind up basically to. It's a science book, like it's not a novel or anything, but I found it very eye opening, just to the way the world is basically.
Oh.
I think that sometimes you know
Yes.
more. Yeah, it just shows you, like, it just shows how illustrative life can be, like, just, and that there's some weird energy passing through everything. And we don't, science has never really put a grasp on, what that is, that's forming everything in this kind of unique way, like, and it's not just water, but it's actually whatever what force is going through water is creating this thing. So it's not like water is just creating this, like, it's the force that's going through water that's creating it. And it's weird that everything has the same patterns, but just because it was water that did it, we have the same synchronistic things that look the same because it's the same medium. So that's why we have like this symbiotic, and it's nice to remember, like, that you have this close connection to absolutely everything, because it's water is the thing that's passing through it, like, and it just reminds you that, in every part of you, the way it's formed and the way it looks is because it's the same pattern, it's the same, it's speaking to that thing as to you. It's not like some different one. And I suppose that's why the material world isn't that important. It's kind of what's beneath that, what's that energy. And I think it's a nice thing with psychedelics, you can connect to that energy very well. And it's a good checker on actually how your energy is doing, and that, the world of control, that you have this idea that you have control is not really true. Yet we try to have control of it because, you want to have control of the one single moment that you can remember this weird random occurrence that you are as a human. But, like, you can't have control of that. Yet you want to have control of that at the same time to try and remember it in the moment that it's happening. But it's meaningless because it just flows, like, So yeah, it's always good to have that water image in you to feel yourself going along with everything else.
Yeah, it's a very nice metaphor.
It's not only a metaphor, it's a reality as well. Like, when you're made, you're made literally through the same currents, as the same way the water is looking when it's in the river. It's actually running the same way when you're getting formed as a baby. Like, it's the same. The way the ocean's the same energy, the way it looks in the ocean, and it's great that. Because if you actually look at an ocean, if you look at a beach and the stones on it, and the way all those patterns are, it's like the same as the patterns in your human body, the same, the way the material thing is formed itself is like, it's the reflection of it is all around you, like, and that's why it's so important to connect in with water, because you can actually then go like, fuck, so this whole thing is like, the way it's building you. It's not that humans are, this idea that humans are this, that you're separate kind of to this planet is kind of, that you have some extra gift to this planet. I don't think so. I don't think you have an extra gift to this planet, because, basically made out of the same thing. This, like, technological world that we're moving towards is very egotistically driven towards this idea that humans, we can discover the mysteries of the universe and all that. It's like, no, we might be able to experience the mysteries of the universe, but at a certain point our minds will not be able to comprehend anymore. Like, what's going on, and I don't think you need to.
Well, I mean, of course, at some point.
Some letting go is maybe the maybe actually going backwards is the way. I'm saying maybe, but there's a big maybe. Like, maybe the way forward is actually backwards. Like, that is actually letting go instead of trying to. Is actually letting go of trying to go forward, and, like, actually just accepting, and then it'll actually really bring you forward anyway, because things might go forward or around or anyway. You know, this idea of controlling what the outcome is might be pointless, because you know there's no way of controlling this flow in energy that's going around and creating things. That's the master of it all, you know. And that's why I like psychedelics. It always brings you down and makes you laugh with nature, kind of humble. It throws you off you a bit, like throws you a bit off balance of this controlled mind. And I think that controlled mind way of thinking goes down back to Greek times. I like to revisit all that kind of thinking, where go back to the way we were living in the cycles of things, instead of this idea of giving the voice of reasoning of what the universe and what thought is and what the person is.
That's a scientific approach to life.
No, but science could be still an approach to life, because you know, we need to party on this planet for as long as possible and live healthy, and you know explore things and you know discover things, but not the approach of controlling what we know and making as if it's absolute fact, because the science, you know, good scientists are often completely throwing themselves in the part away from fact. You know, I don't know what happened to those good scientists. Like before, you know, it wasn't all about being always completely factual and having like, because that's, if you look at nature, it's not like that. Like it's a bit more random and a bit more like,
well, it's a chaotic system, actually. This is a very good book there
about
chaos. And how natural systems work.
Yeah, the sense of chaos, not this. Oh, it doesn't have to be like violent.
It's organized chaos. It's in harmony, you know.
Yeah, harmonic. Yeah, I wouldn't say organized.
Well, it's organized in a chaotic manner, which is kind of contradictory, but at the same time, it's what it is. I think, you know.
And then that's a label on it, which is unfair as well. This is a bit more than that.
Well, everything is a bit more than anything.
Yeah,
you know, so it's
like that's why labels. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. Is fact. Maybe it's not. You know, maybe kind of going with the flow doesn't mean science doesn't have to go with the flow. Doesn't have to, you know, be like this. You know, this.
It's it can get rigid and dogmatic.
Rigid, like that this is. You know, a building block, and then we build everything upon this. What if that original thing was wrong? And then what they try to do is defend that constantly, as if that never happened and went wrong. This is perfect in this scenario at the moment with an epidemic with the C word. You know, everything that we're doing could be built on something that is actually wrong, but it's being like. Yeah, I can't talk about those things. Not allowed. Not allowed. It's not right. It's not right to talk about that shit. It's not fair, because people get upset. It's true. People get upset and people think you're this or that, or you know. It's one of those things. Again, labels. I think
it's
labels are fucked.
Not good. Labels on people are not good, because we're ever changing, you know, and it's unfair.
On anything. Maybe you shouldn't have a label. Maybe words are meaningless anyway.
I mean, I like labels to some extent, just in terms of organizing stuff in your life. Like, I like labels on my books. I like labels, you know, on my computer, you know, for certain objects.
Yeah, you could have symbols.
No, there are symbols there as well. There's logos. Yeah. There's symbols.
Well, that's it. Like, it's not just words.
Well, yeah, it's a visual representation of the artist's idea or what the person is trying to convey. Yeah. You know, which is also tells a lot. That's why you have both. You know, you have the label, the text, the font, the visual representation, and it's all kind of a mix. You know, but it is a label because you just recognize what it is. You know.
I could see you being a psychologist. just having a bit. I could just see you like just an oak chair.
Yeah.
Oak table.
Oak table. I like oak
chair and an oak chair.
Oak chairs are cool.
Yeah.
I like oak.
Yeah.
I like mahogany.
Definitely.
Actually. Mahogany is very nice.
Yeah. You'd be like a psychologist, like you could even do it like perfect, like
Yeah. The posture like is
I think
ideal.
From this angle, it's better. Like if I had the camera actually from this angle, it would be really
Yeah, we could have like a GoPro there or something like.
Yeah, I've never gone to. I got a test, but it was to do
Mhm.
with dyslexia.
Okay.
I wonder if I went to a psychiatrist. Yeah, they might cry instead of me.
No, usually it's a bunch of shit. But like, I mean, if you have psychedelics and then you have psychotherapy incorporated with that,
You
that's
really
very
think-
powerful. It's
Yeah.
very, very powerful. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even just a matter of me like saying, oh, I believe it is so, but there's a lot of studies currently being done on it, and it's a revolution in some sense, and it's been kind of snowballing recently. I've been interested in it for a very long time now, but yeah,
Why
in the
do
last
we-
couple
yeah.
of years, it's shown great efficacy. Like,
yeah. I just wonder if it's should people fucking do psychiatry anyway. Some people need it though.
well, yeah, a lot of people need it. I mean, there's an epidemic of depression and
We
anxiety and
used
all
to
sorts
do
of
it.
things.
Shamans and used to be the
Yeah.
psychiatrists basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they'd sit there and not say anything, and people would just be like, "Ah," and then after they'd like just spill all their shit and then like feel better, just realize like, but like
Well,
I wouldn't be able to do it to be like some person listening to all these problems like and kind of lying to them and going like, well, I don't have any problems, you know, like it should be a mutual thing. Like I believe it should be.
It is actually like sometimes a mutual thing.
Yeah.
To some extent. Yeah. Like I mean,
They both talk
from the
about
training.
It. Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, it's more of like, you know, a person can tell you about their problem,
Yeah.
and then you can relate that back to your own life and be
Mhm.
like, oh, I've had this problem before, and this is how I navigated it. I feel like, you know, that helped me, and you can share your own personal experience. So you can't go in too deep, you know, and you can't put your own kind of problems on them, of course, but you can
Mhm.
show like your life as an example, or how you navigated a particular situation. You can share that with them. You know, it is a sharing exercise in the end. You know, it's not like, you know, there's some guy with a fucking notebook just sitting there like analyzing him like, oh, this is what you should do exactly. You know, it's kind of, it's a cycle. Well, that's what a good psychologist, I believe, does. You know, or a psychiatrist or a therapist for that matter.
Yeah.
And psychedelics allow that person to become vulnerable. You know, which is very good. It opens them up, you know, especially like, you know, MDMA is a very good one because it's not overwhelming. And they use it for PTSD.
I'd say
It's very
I'd say MDMA would probably be way better than
Yeah.
using mushrooms because
Well, it's a lot more
mushrooms might
accessible.
fucking-
It's a lot more accessible.
mushrooms might really freak someone out. Like.
Yeah, they're not prepared. It's a lot more accessible. It's just easy. And they actually, what MDMA was first used for was exactly that. Therapy.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like I'm
like
doing a
with
therapy session right now. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Live therapy. Oh, that'd be cool.
Live therapy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll do a live therapy session.
Just hire a psychologist. And
Yeah.
be like, oh yes.
I'll fucking
Do live therapy.
talk shit, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
Instead of opening up. Can't do mushrooms though. They're legal in Ireland.
They're actually legal.
Yeah, it used to be. What?
They actually are kind of legal. It's a loophole.
Oh,
you
really?
can collect them yourself. You can take them legally. You just can't distribute them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it is legal to actually have them and hold
Oh,
them.
fuck.
You just can't distribute them. You can
Mm.
pick them. It's completely legal. Like, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's within your rights. So.
Yeah.
Need some incense now.
I need some incense. I need guitar music actually.
You want some guitar music? I can play a bit of guitar if you want.
Yeah, I want to hear what that sounds like on the with that speaker.
Yeah, actually I need to set this up a little bit that way. I need to do this.
Yeah, we're talking. Talking, I think sometimes leads us further away from where we're going.
It depends what kind of talking.
Action. We need more action. We need more like expression.
Yeah.
And, you know, like genuine expression.
I see what you mean. I mean,
Like-
music is very good for genuine expression.
You know, we could be talking about
Just fucking throws my pillows up.
what?
Just
I'm just pushing it to the side. It's like this weird pillow there.
Oh, but I like my pillows.
I know. There's a cat here as well everywhere.
I know, it's fucking awful actually. I cleaned it like 3 days ago. There's fucking cat hair everywhere again. Oh no, it's awful.
Let's go. When did you learn guitar? Recently enough, no?
No.
No.
I've been playing for years. I just
Oh,
kind of,
go
like,
ahead.
now
Yeah.
and then. Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you'd like only recently played it. That's cool. It has that burn effect.
I made it actually.
Or you scratched it.
Oh yeah, no, I want to get a Dremel and like properly engrave it.
I thought it was
Think
one of
about
those things, you know, when you. Ah, class.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You know, when you
Burn it.
burn,
I know,
yes.
I know,
Yeah. Oh, man, that took me a long
I'm actually very tired to play guitar right now. But yeah. I've recently actually been learning Lithuanian music.
I feel like I'm gonna sing now or something. Bunch of bandits.
Bunch of bandits.
This is my fucking brothers had to watch it.
Oh yeah, that is Noah's actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, I was seeing if at work I could get away with having it on. Didn't get away with having it on at work. Because you need those other ones. We won't talk about the C word. The fucking C word.
Yeah, the C word.
This is a song about the C word. Can you improvise a lot?
I can, sometimes.
Yeah, I like that. I like when people just fucking just make their own shit. When I hear a song that someone's already made, it's like, okay, it's not your song. Stop lying to yourself.
I actually just made this like quite recently.
Cover bands. Oh.
Need more space. I'm very tired right now. Yeah, it's quite a nice riff. I just need to put lyrics to it.
C word is spreading. Imagine, do you think it came from like another universe?
Parallel universe.
Or like, I feel like I shouldn't talk about this. I promise not to talk about this.
Fair enough.
It's so hard not to. It's like when all you think about doing something.
Do you want me to play some Lithuanian shit?
No, you don't. Yeah, no, don't play it because you'll get pulled down off.
No,
Copyright.
I won't play
Oh,
it
you'll
like
play-
off. I'll actually play it.
Oh, well,
myself.
actually, yeah, do. Please play some Lithuanian stuff.
I've just been learning it recently. I'm not very good at it. I need to find the bookmark wherever it is. Other bookmarks, songs. I'm quite tired. There we go.
We look like we're a fucking funk band.
Oh yes.
We're such a funk band. What would you call ourselves if we were a folk band right now?
The C word.
Folky bandits.
Four comes.
Four comes. So what's the story with the four comes? You need to tell me the four. So just don't mention the person though.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah,
that'd
of
be
course.
really
Of
unfair.
course. Well,
So-
he went to the red light district in Amsterdam for his
Yeah.
birthday.
What do you do in the red light district?
Things.
What do you do in the light?
Red light district.
Yeah, my voice is gone.
You engage
You know when you trip. I
acts.
can't even speak.
You engage in acts, man.
Acting.
Acts, yes.
Oh yes.
Certain acts.
Yeah, the red light district, dude. It's just full of Muslim and Arab people. It's actually that's incorrect because
It's Romanian.
What I did was I said they were Muslim. They might not. They're probably definitely not doing well to their faith. Actually, maybe you're allowed to do that. I'm not sure. Was not Muslim. There was a lot of Middle Eastern men, like herds of Middle Eastern men looking at the prostitutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, no.
That's kind
Maybe
of.
it was just the season.
Maybe.
When you went, no?
I never went.
Oh, you never been to the
I've
red
never-
light district?
never
Oh,
been.
right. Okay, I thought we would like share like the perspective.
No, I've never been. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting to go though, but
Nah, it's not that interesting actually.
it's an experience.
Yeah, it's not one of those ones where you're like, oh yeah, I needed that. No, really, it's not. What was the biggest fan of Amsterdam?
Yeah, it's very busy. It's very
I
touristy.
freaked out on weed. It ran through a glass door. Ate so many space cookies. Man,
That must be terrifying.
it was terrible.
Actually, do you want to sing this shit?
That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Space story. Space cookie story. Oh, you're singing a song?
Yeah, I might do it.
Let's go.
I need to put on auto scroll because otherwise I'll have to stop midway through. Right?
Producer Jurgis is going to sing for us.
Oh yes, it's gonna be.
Do you want to have headphones actually?
No, it's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, this is exciting.
Oh no.
We actually have music on our first podcast. It's fucking not podcast. I don't like using that word. I don't know why I don't like the word podcast.
I don't know.
What's a pod?
Baltos lelijos polangrisos įvijo, polelijom balčiausiom du vaikeliai stovi, vienas vaikas baltas, kitas vaikas žalias, viens į kitą žiūri, žvaigždeles klausinėja. Kas pasėjo bulveles, kas pasėjo lelijas, kas ežerus pasėjo, kas pasėjo žmogelius, kas gyvena už kalnų, kas gyvena danguje, kas gyvena po žeme, kas gyvena žvaigždėse. I'm very tired actually.
That sounds really good. It'll actually help if you're listening. You're done?
No.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's more to it, but
That's really cool.
I got too awkward, I'm too tired.
That's beautiful.
I was like really getting into it today though. It was like properly good. But
Yeah, get to that buzz, dude.
I need to get into the buzz.
Well, I'm telling you, if you would have like taken a trip down to Chinatown and
yeah, maybe.
you would have released that for sure.
Yeah, no, it's just too
Fucking
awkward.
idiot.
Fuck.
What the fuck, like? Makes me, I fucking want to sing right now.
Yeah?
So I feel like I have good Slavic voice. Looking at the lyrics right now. Can hum. I could be like the background, like humming.
Kas pasėjo bulveles, kas pasėjo lelijas, kas ežerus pasėjo, kas pasėjo žmogelius, kas gyvena už kalnų, kas gyvena danguje, kas gyvena po žeme, kas gyvena žvaigždėse, kur mes eisime šį vakar, kur mes eisime rytoj, kur mes būsim, kai pasensim, kur 100 metų būsim. Baltos lelijos po langais susivijo, po lelijom balčiausiom du vaikeliai stovi.
That's class, man. That's beautiful. Keep doing this forever now. That's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I've just recently been trying to learn these. It's not very good yet, but...
Thank you so much.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we look like a fucking folk band from Slavic countries. You're not helping it. Not that it's a bad thing, no. But I made my Slav come out more. Serbian. Half Serbian. Not half Serbian, tiny bit Serbian.
I'm not actually Slav though.
What's Slav anyway? I don't even know what that is.
Slave, no, that's a joke. Slav are like Russians and Polish and Belarusians.
Serbs? Are Serbs Slavs? No.
Serbians? No, I don't think they're Slav.
So that,
Maybe.
you know, Yugoslav.
Yugoslavia. Yeah.
no,
That's.
You are as well.
No, I'm not a Slav. Lithuania is Baltic.
Baltic.
Yeah.
bastards.
Baltic bastards. Lithuania.
That's the name of
Latvia,
your
Estonia.
band.
Baltic
The Baltic Bastards.
Baltic bastards.
Baltic Bandits.
Baltic bandits.
Baltic
That's
Bandits.
a great
the
fucking name.
Baltic
It's gonna be
Bandits.
in
We're
my
fucking
name.
Baltic Bandits. We are Baltic Bandits coming from the north, killing all your women and doing all sorts.
All sorts.
Fucking working in Aldi most.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
Yeah, no, the Lithuanians are sound.
Yeah, they are.
All Baltic people are sound.
They actually are.
Everyone's sound. Polish are sound. Germans are alright. They're not that sound. Germans are not that sound. Germans are not that sound.
Germans are sound enough.
No, they're not. They're not fucking sound. They're fucking scary.
It depends on what kind of like Germans.
Man,
you meet.
Germans make me so uneasy. I'm German and it makes me uneasy about myself.
I suppose.
Well, what a way to make myself uneasy is just think of myself as a German. I'm like, just look at my passport.
Oh, you have a German passport?
And then I just remind myself I'm also a bit Welsh. And I'm like, it's okay.
That's fine.
It's okay. Can get away with some things.
No, Germans are fine, man. Like, actually,
No,
get
man.
well with Germans.
It's a terrible stigma because everything has to be working in order if you're German.
Yeah.
And
For
if
some
you
of them.
expect that German, like if you say you're German and then the person's completely like fucking all over the place, you're like, whoa. It's like, I don't trust Ali anymore. It's like, who's working there?
Yeah.
Who's working there? These guys?
This is wrong branding, like.
Like some German with Welsh behaviours. It's like going around fucking like fucking sheep. What else do Welsh people do?
Fuck sheep.
Oh. Felt like they would do something else. No. Probably good like herders. They might be good railway instructors.
Welsh people?
No, sorry, kind.
Oh, kind.
Yeah, like
Really?
really friendly.
Welsh people are quite kind. I think.
Yeah. I remember a book about a dragon and a railway instructor. It was a Welsh book. What was his name? Ivor. You're right about the same.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think we're dead again.
Are we weird dead?
We're dead. Yeah, we can. The camera is dead, but you're still alive.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Yeah, we can do a nice outro now. So sing us out of this,
Okay, I'll do the first one.
and we'll cut the video from earlier.
Tikriausiai nieko, tiesiog kažkas paliko, ieškoti pirmo sniego, o kažkas nuėjo, nepatikėjęs ir nesupratęs ašarų jos. That was the wrong chord at the end.